Welcome to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, supporters. So to the point, the 1.6 Hdi engine, developed by PEUGEOT CITROEN in a joint venture with Ford, where it's known as the 1.6 Tdci, has been a widely used diesel engine across numerous car brands, including Peugeot, Citroën, Ford, Volvo, Mazda, Mini, and even some Toyotas. It's known for its good fuel economy and refined operation, but also for specific maintenance-related issues. Review and opinions. Overall, the 1.6 Hdi, internal PSA code DV6, has a mixed reputation. When properly maintained, it's a smooth, economical, and reasonably powerful engine for its size. However, neglect of specific maintenance aspects, particularly oil changes, can lead to serious and costly problems. Character. Drivers generally praise its smooth operation, relatively low noise levels for a diesel, and decent torque delivery, especially in urban environments and for relaxed cruising. It's not a performance engine, but it handles daily driving well. Performance. Available in various power outputs, commonly 90 PS/110 PS/112 PS, and later Blue HD versions with higher outputs. It provides adequate acceleration for most vehicles it powers. The common rail direct injection and turbocharging contribute to a responsive feel. Refinement. A key strong point compared to many older diesels. It's often described as quieter and smoother, contributing to a more comfortable driving experience. Advantages. Excellent fuel economy. This is a major selling point. The 1.6 Hdi consistently delivers impressive real-world fuel consumption figures, making it an economical choice for high-mileage drivers. Low emissions. Designed to meet stringent European emissions standards, particularly the later Euro 5 and Euro 6 versions, Blue HD, resulting in lower road tax in many regions. Refined operation. Generally smooth and quiet for a diesel, enhancing driving comfort. Good torque. Provides sufficient low-end torque for good drivability, especially in everyday situations. Widespread availability of parts. Due to its commonality across many brands, parts are generally easy to find. Disadvantages. Sensitivity to lubrication. This is the most critical and frequently cited disadvantage. The engine is highly sensitive to correct oil type, quality, and frequent oil changes. Neglecting this can lead to severe issues. DPF, diesel particulate filter, issues. Like most modern diesels, it's prone to DPF clogging, especially if used predominantly for short urban journeys that don't allow the filter to regenerate properly. Turbocharger failures. Early versions were particularly susceptible to turbo failures, often linked to oil starvation due to clogged oil feed pipes and strainers, mesh filters, within the oil supply line to the turbo. While later revisions improve this, regular maintenance is still crucial. EGR valve clogging. The exhaust gas recirculation, EGR, valve can accumulate carbon deposits, leading to poor running, reduced performance, and illuminated warning lights. Injector seal leaks/blow-by. A known issue, especially on early 16-valve versions, DV6 TED4. Where injector copper seals can fail, leading to combustion gases leaking into the cam cover. This can cause carbon buildup around the injectors, further contributing to oil contamination and potential blockages. Higher maintenance costs. If neglected while parts can be readily available, rectifying issues stemming from poor maintenance, e.g., turbo, DPF, injectors, can be very expensive. Faults and breakdowns. The most common problems stem from the engine's design being sensitive to oil quality and maintenance, and issues related to emission control systems. Oil sludge and turbo failure. This is the most infamous issue. Due to the engine's heat, blow-by, and potentially less than ideal factory oil change intervals in early models, oil can degrade and congeal, blocking the fine mesh filter in the turbo oil feed pipe and restricting oil flow to the turbocharger. This leads to turbo failure due to oil starvation. In severe cases, it can lead to oil pump failure or even total engine seizure. Injector seal leaks. Carbon buildup around the injectors due to leaking copper seals. If left unchecked, This can lead to further contamination of the oil. DPF blockage reduces power, increases fuel consumption, and triggers warning lights. Requires regeneration drives, forced regeneration via diagnostics, or DPF cleaning/replacement. EGR valve clogging leads to rough idling, loss of power, and potential emissions faults. Cleaning or replacement is often needed. Air doser/throttle body faults can cause depollution faults. Clogged fuel filter, another cause of depollution faults. PCV valve issues. The PCV valve, sometimes integrated into the rocker cover, can fail, contributing to various depollution faults. Prevention is key. More frequent oil and filter changes, at least having manufacturer recommendations, especially for city driving. Using the correct low SAPs, sulfate, phosphorus, and sulfur, oil, and addressing any signs of injector leaks promptly are crucial for longevity. Fuel consumption. The 1.6 Hdi is highly regarded for its fuel efficiency. Real-world consumption figures are generally excellent, though they typically fall short of the optimistic official NEDC figures, which are no longer used for new cars. Real-world figures. Owners frequently report achieving 4.5 to 6.0 liters per 100 kilometers, 47 to 63 mpg Imperial/39 to 52 mpg US in mixed driving. Long highway journeys can often yield even better results. For example, a 1.6 Blue HD 120 in a Peugeot 308 might see real-world averages around 5.0 liters per 100 kilometers, 56 mpg Imperial. Timing. The 1.6 Hdi engine uses a timing belt to synchronize the camshafts and crankshaft. Replacement interval. This is crucial for preventing catastrophic engine damage. Intervals vary by specific engine version, e.g., 16V versus 8V, vehicle model, and driving conditions, normal versus severe. Typically, intervals range from 140,000 kilometers to 180,000 kilometers, or 80,000 to 112,500 miles, or every 10 years, whichever comes first. Some sources even suggest as early as 112,000 kilometers, 70,000 miles, or 5 to 7 years for earlier or 16V versions, especially if driven hard or in adverse conditions. It is always recommended to check the specific manufacturer's service schedule for your vehicle's exact engine code and year, as intervals can differ. It's often advised to replace the water pump at the same time as the timing belt, as it's driven by the belt and failure could necessitate another costly strip down. Oil. Oil type. Crucially, the 1.6 Hdi requires a low SAPs, sulfate ash, phosphorus, and sulfur, fully synthetic engine oil to protect the diesel particulate filter, DPF, and other emission control systems. The common specifications are ASEA C2 or ASEA C3, with viscosity typically 5W, 30, or 0W30. PSA's own specifications, such as PSA B71-2290 for C2 5W, 30, or PSA B71-2312 for C2 0W30, are often explicitly mentioned. Using the wrong oil type can rapidly clog the DPF. Capacity. Oil capacity is typically around 3.75 liters, approximately 4 U.S. quarts, though it can vary slightly depending on the specific engine variant, e.g., 16V versus 8V, and vehicle. Always consult the owner's manual. Maintenance. More frequent oil and filter changes than manufacturer-stated intervals are highly recommended, especially for vehicles used for short trips or in stop-and-go city traffic. Many experienced mechanics and owners advise changing the oil every 10,000 to 15,000 kilometers, 6,000 to 9,000 miles, or annually, rather than the sometimes longer intervals specified in older service books. This helps prevent oil degradation and sludge buildup, which are major causes of turbo failure. Versions and history. The 1.6 Hdi engine, part of the DV/DLD family, has undergone several revisions since its introduction, primarily to improve emissions and address known issues. Early versions, DV6 ATD 4/DV6 TED 4, 16 valve, typically Euro 4. Introduced in the early 2000s, around 2002 to 2003 for some applications. Often had 90 PS, 66 kilowatts, with a conventional waste-gated turbo, Mitsubishi MHI T025 or 109/110 PS, 80 kilowatts, with a variable geometry turbo, Garrett GT15V. These early 16-valve versions are the ones most commonly associated with turbo failures and injector seal issues due to their design and the initial long oil change intervals. Applications: Peugeot 206, 307, 407, Partner, Citroën C3, C4, C5, Berlingo, Ford Focus, Fiesta, C-Max, Volvo S40, V50, C30, Mazda 3, Mini Cooper D. Later versions, DV6C, 8-valve, typically Euro 5. Introduced around 2010. Significant redesigns to improve reliability and meet Euro 5 emissions. Switch from a 16-valve to an 8-valve head. Improved turbocharger oil feed pipes and strainers. Larger filter, or in some cases, remove the filter in the banjo bolt. Revised injector clamping mechanism, stronger bolts/clamps. Power outputs often 92 PS, 68 kilowatts, or 112/115 PS, 82/84 kW. Generally considered much more robust and less prone to the critical lubrication-related failures of the earlier 16V models. Applications: Peugeot 207, 308, 508, 3008, 5008, Citroën C3, C4, C4 Picasso, DS3, DS4, DS5, later Ford and Volvo models. Blue HD versions, DV6F, 8-valve, typically Euro 6. Introduced from around 2014 onwards. These are the latest iterations of the 1.6 Hdi. Feature selective catalytic reduction, SCR, technology with AdBlue injection to further reduce NOx emissions, meeting Euro 6 standards. Further refinements for efficiency and emissions. Power outputs typically 75 PS, 55 kilowatts, 100 PS, 74 kilowatts, or 120 PS, 88 kilowatts. Applications: modern Peugeot, Citroën, DS, Opel/Vauxhall, and some Toyota models. In conclusion, the 1.6 Hdi engine, while praised for its economy and refinement, requires diligent and knowledgeable maintenance, particularly regarding oil changes and the specific type of oil used. Owners of early 16-valve versions should be especially vigilant. The later 8-valve and Blue HD versions are generally more reliable due to design improvements addressing some of the earlier engine's weaknesses. Thank you for watching the video, and I invite you to subscribe to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.